Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk with Dunmore coach Jack Henzes, ready to coach the city, the 80th annual Dream Game. Well, Coach, game coming up again. Great tradition, that's for sure. And I'm sure you have some nice young men there that you get a chance to coach for the first time.
Well, that's very true, John. We're very fortunate to coach in this football game, and we're looking my assistant's looking forward to a great deal. And we have young men that are very anxious to play the game of football. And, of course, the second big thing is that they're very well instructed by the programs they have come from.
Well, Coach, got to see you at practice a little bit, and hey, you're still after them. You want to make sure that they're giving their best effort. And as you said, you mentioned kids that come from other programs and get some quality coaching, but you get that opportunity. Tell us about some of these guys are moving on to the next level and are going to play. Other guys may not play ever again, but it's neat to just see these guys coming together for one cause and see what they're able to do.
Well, I think the big factor, John, is that they realize the importance of what the game means. You know, I think it's very important if you're chosen to play in the game, and then, of course, you want to be able to go full tilt in, and it's for a great cause. You know, the Association for the Blind and the Scranton Lions Club, they do a great job with, you know, getting money to do things with people's eyeglass and things like that. Most of the kids I said that we've had just a few injuries, but overall basis they worked really hard for us.
Coach, I know it's hard to get a real good handle on where you're at because you guys aren't going full speed, full practices. You know, you want to keep it a little light, make sure everybody's staying healthy to play in the game, which is coming up on Wednesday evening. But tell us about on the offensive side, what you like so far, what have you seen, whether from the running game or the passing game?
Well, of course, you know, we've got some outstanding running backs. You know, we have the young man from Scranton, Pat Marino, and, of course, we have our running back, Daquan Buckley, and Ricky Smith from up at Wallapop back. So we have some outstanding running backs, you know, that are going to hope that they're doing a good job for us. And, you know, I think in our secondary, our kids are playing extremely well with the Bannon boy that's there, you know, and, of course, we have a couple of our kids, Shaquille Blackwell, that are there, and you know, there's a young man from West Scranton, Colin Fanning, that's doing an outstanding job for us. And, you know, we think our linebackers are pretty good. So it should be a very interesting game.
Coach, when you talk about the challenges of the county team, they got a whole bunch of Old Forge kids, but even Coach Mike Schubeck said he's got some other talented kids from other schools, and he's real excited about the game to see what they have to offer. And how do you go about, you know, figuring out the scouting part of it? Do you even talk about that, or is it just trying to put together your team because there's so many different varieties of players and different schools, and just try to make the best effort on your end?
Well, we're trying to, you know, we never worry about the opposing team has because they have as many days as we have. And sometimes it's difficult to try to put a lot of things in because everybody comes from a different system. So we're trying to be as basic as we possibly can and hope that we're going to play very good defense. We're very impressed with our kicking game with the Paulson boy from Delaware Valley, you know, and so that we think that's a plus for us.
Coach, when you talk about strategy in the game, I mean, you go one dream to another dream game, and, you know, coaches don't coach every year. They coach every so often. What have been some past practices for you, and does it depend on the personnel and what you're able to do?
Well, I think it's very true. You know, you try to keep it as basic as you possibly can with your pass routes, and, of course, it's trying to put a line together might be the most difficult thing to do. But overall basis, I say our kids have responded extremely well to things that we're doing out there, and you know, hopefully that things are going to work out for us on Wednesday evening.
And Coach, how about the rules? There's a whole bunch of different rules, and I'm sure you got to have a few different coaches that are interpreting the rules and making sure, because you're making adjustments. You got to make sure you play a certain defense and you know, not rush the kicker. So some of the rules I'm sure have stayed the same, and maybe over the years a few have changed.
Well, I think that's very true. You know, you could use any type of offense you want to, but you have to have a basic 4-3 type of defense, and you have to have people line in certain positions, which makes it very exciting because it should be a game where points are going to be scored overall basis. And then you know, the kicking game is very important at this particular time. So as I mentioned, we're very fortunate. We have that Paulson boy from up in from the Delaware Valley that's going to do our kicking for us, and we get close near the goal line, we're going to go for field goals.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck this Wednesday evening, and I know it's always an honor for you and a pleasure for you to coach in this great game.
Well, thank you very much, John. I appreciate it.
The 80th annual Dream came Wednesday night. Coach Jack Henzes is coaching the city here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.